Well, let's roll up our sleeves and do some analysis on the performance of the 11 candidates in that presidential debate. To do that, I'm joined in the studio now by Frederic Paillet. He's a communications specialist and senior vice president of Reputation Squad, which is an international communications agency. Hello, Frederic. Thanks for being with us.
Hello to you.
Now, it may have gone on for a few hours, that debate, but with 11 candidates on the stage, how is it possible for all of them to get their message across?
Well, it was a real challenge. It was the first, as you said earlier. It was an unprecedented debate in France. You had two sub-teams of that football team. You had the five main candidates, being Fillon, Le Pen, Macron, Mélenchon and Hamon. And you have six others. And these six candidates were really there to make their point. It was, in a way, their Warholian 15 minutes of fame. They had 17, I think. It lasted for nearly 4 hours. So it was very, very, very long. Now, I'd say that as expected, the five main candidates were just there to make sure that everything was fine. They're already being really seen in the media. The six others had to show that they were there, that they were existing.
So they had more to prove, essentially.
They had more to prove. They were there to push, to put pressure on the five others. We had some moments of tension with some, for instance, the anti-capitalist candidate Philippe Poutou, who was very aggressive with, for instance, Fillon because of his scandals, and also Marine Le Pen. They had no inhibitions, in a way. So it was, in terms of communications, it was interesting because it's rather unusual in France.
So did you feel as though those five smaller candidates were able to hold the mainstream candidates to account a little bit more than they would between themselves?
Well, they tried to. For instance, when Philippe Poutou told Marine Le Pen that, well, she's being summoned by judges, and because of her European MP immunity, she can afford not going. He said, well, you have your MP immunity, and I, as a worker, have no immunity. So thanks very much.
Yeah, calling those candidates out. Is there a danger, though, that this sort of 11-way debate means that you have to grab that one soundbite or that moment of tension in order to get seen?
Yes, but it very much depends on the way you do it. In a way, we had no kings standing out last night, but we had at least one or a couple of jesters, which was problematic. Jean Lassalle, who's an MP here in France, was totally disconnected from the debate. And Philippe Poutou once more, and also Nathalie Arthaud, another Trotskyist, we do have Trotskyist candidates in France, were out of the game and also very much in the game. And as I said, they had their own standards of communications totally separated from what the others were doing. And
watching that debate for you, was there one candidate from a communications perspective who really stood out above the rest?
Well, I'd say that the candidate that did really well, because he was very comfortable in this debate, was Mélenchon, the far left candidate, one of the far left candidates, because he is one of the main candidates. He's one of these professional politicians, experienced politicians. So he knows how to be the perfect candidate, but he also knows how to be a marginal candidate. So he was very at ease between the ones who were who can expect to be elected, and the others, the marginal ones. So he did really, really well. And as usual, he knows how to shout when he has to shout. He knows how to to give the right catch sentences. He did really very well.
So speaking in sound bites and kind of capitalising, I guess, on his first very high performance in that first debate as well. Frederic Paillet, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. Thank you very much for your analysis on that presidential debate last night.